Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I am here with my July TBR video and I am so excited for July. June has been a pretty slumpy month for me. I was doing the Amazing Readathon and I had to pull out of it halfway through because I was just finding myself getting in a slump and I couldn't keep up and it was just getting a bit too much for me. So I had to kind of step aside from Amazing Readathon and I just felt like my anxiety was like not in a really good place. So I decided to stop doing the Amazing Readathon and just have a little bit of a break from reading and booktube and all that sort of stuff. But now I'm back and I'm feeling so much more better about my reading, and I'm just really excited for a brand new month. And I will be a co-host for a readathon in July, and I am so excited to be doing this readathon again. So yeah, I will be participating in some readathons in July and I'm really excited. I'm away on holiday for a week as well, so I'll be taking some books away with me, but I'm just really excited for this brand new month and a brand new refresh. And I will kick off my July TBR with some mandatory reads that I really do need to get to in the month of July, and yeah, I'm just really excited. Okay guys, so my first mandatory read is of course the July pick for Magical Kingdom Book Club, which if you don't know is my brand new book club that I set up, and I am just really excited for a brand new month and a brand new pick. And this one I am a little bit nervous about because I've had an up and down relationship with this author's books, but I am really excited to give this one a try. And our July pick for Magical Kingdom Book Club is Chicken Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And I do love this cover, it's absolutely adorable. But this is Ali Hazelwood's YA debut, so I might maybe have a better time with this one potentially. And it's set in the chess world, and that's kind of really all I want to know about it. I don't want to know too much going into it. But the lovely Beatrice and Beatrice's Book Nook will be my co-host on the live show, which will be towards the start of August, and I am really excited for this one. So fingers crossed I do enjoy this one. So this is my Magical Kingdom Book Club for the month of July, and I'm really excited. And my second mandatory read that I need to get to in the month of July is of course the next book in the Chestnut Springs series for Chestnut Springs Along, which if you don't know is my read along that I have been doing since April. We have been reading the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, and we have just read Powerless, which is the third book in the series for June, and for July we will be moving on to Reckless by Elsie Silver, and I'm really excited for this one. This is a one night stand romance which leads to a surprise pregnancy. It does say on the back, that isn't a spoiler. We're following Theo and Winter in this one, and I am really excited. And I wanted to share that the lovely Brooklyn from Brooklyn Reads will actually be joining us as a co-host on the reader for the rest of the read along, as Leandra from Leandra the TBR Zero. She's decided to DNF the Chestnut Springs series because she just felt that it wasn't for her. I think she will be putting a video to explain why she has DNF'd the series, but I just wanted to mention that. So Brooklyn will be joining us on the Powerless live show, and she will be joining us for the rest of the read along, and I'm really happy that Brooklyn has agreed to step in and be part of the read along. But Brittany will still be taking part in the read along as well, but I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, Reckless will be our July book, and I'm really excited for this one. Okay guys, so the main readathon that I want to share with you that I will be a co-host for this year is the Monsters University readathon. I have been involved in this readathon from like the very beginning as a co-host. I absolutely love taking part in this readathon. It was created by Liv from Liv Loves to Read. Liv has done an announcement video where she has all the information about how to sign up for the readathon, all the teams, all the co-hosts, the prompts, all that kind of important stuff. I will say, if you are interested in taking part in the readathon, you do have to sign up via the Google form, which I'll leave a link to below, and Liv will assign you a team. So you can put down, I think, 2 options of which teams you want to be put on, and Liv will assign a team for you. I think it's just to make it fair, like a fair amount of people on each team, which I think is a great idea. But I am the co-host for Team Pink. As you can see, I'm wearing pink, and I'm really excited. So I haven't been a co-host for Team Pink before, so this is my first time being Team Pink, and I'm really excited. So I will put a graphic up on the screen showing our team prompts, and yep, I have picked out some books that I think I will hopefully try and get to for the prompts, and yep, I'm really excited. So without further ado, let me talk you through the reading prompts and what I have decided to read for each prompt. Okay guys, so each team has 5 reading prompts, so I will just go through each one and I will tell you which book I have picked out for each prompt. So prompt number 1 for Team Pink is the same. Read a book that has a similar plot to your favourite book. Now, my all-time favourite book is A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J Maas. So I wanted to find something that didn't have the same kind of plot, but kind of similar vibes. So I went onto Goodreads and I went on Google, and there was a few books that I was interested in, but one book that I actually do own that I have been meaning to get to for a long time, and it is quite a popular series, is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is definitely an oldie YA series. The only thing I know about it has fae, and that's kind of really all I know about it, but it came up on Goodreads as having ACOTAR vibes, so that's kind of where I got the inspiration to pick this one. So I don't know anything about this one really. One terrible morning, Judah and her sister see their parents murdered in front of them. The fearsome assassin abducts all 3 girls and brings them to the world of the fairy. Mocked and tormented for being merely mortal, Jude soon realises that to survive in the treacherous, dangerous world of the royal court, she needs to be as cunning and deceitful as the fae themselves. But the stairway to power is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all is the arrogant and charismatic Prince Carden. So it does give me the same kind of vibes as ACOTAR, with Feyre getting taken to the Spring Court by Tamlin, and he's kind of like mysterious and that kind of vibe. So yeah, I am excited to give this one a try. I've never read Holly Black before, but I do know that this series is quite popular, so I am excited to give this one a try. Okay guys, so prompt number 2 is the pretty prompt. Read a book that you think is pretty. So this is definitely a subjective kind of prompt, so whatever book you think is pretty, you can count for that prompt. So I am going to go for Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is book 2 in this duology, and this is the Fairyloot edition, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. Is that not just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? So I can't really give you a synopsis for this one, but the first book, which was Divine Rivals, I read last year and I absolutely loved it. And in this one, we are still following Iris and Roman, and they are journalists at the same newspaper, and they are rivals. And Iris's brother is currently fighting in the war, and she's been sending letters to him, but her brother has not been receiving the letters. Roman, who's her rival, has actually been getting the letters, and they start to form a relationship through the letters. And it's got a kind of World War I kind of vibe, but the war is actually a war between the gods, so there's that kind of fantasy element in there too. So yeah, I am really excited. So the stunning and epic new fantasy novel by Rebecca Ross, filled with adventure, hope, heartbreak and love. So I am really excited to continue on with this series and finish off this duology. And yeah, of course I had to go for this stunning edition because it is absolutely beautiful. Okay guys, so prompt number 3, giggling prompt, which is to read a book that you think will make you laugh. Again, this is quite a subjective prompt. Whatever kind of book makes you laugh, you can count for it. So I have decided to go for an Abby Jimenez book. This is her brand new release, which is just for the summer. I have heard that there are some funny moments in here, but I think Abby Jimenez's books, there's normally some emotion in there as well. But this is just perfect book for summer, I think. Like, this cover just screams summer to me. And on the back it says, to find their soulmates, all they need is 4 dates, a kiss and a breakup. And that's kind of really all I want to know about it. So I have loved Abby Jimenez's other 2 books that I've read from her. So I've read Part of Your World and Yours Truly, and I've given them both 5 stars. I absolutely love them. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this will be a 5-star read for me, and I'm definitely going to take this away with me when I'm on holiday, because I think this will be the perfect summer read to take away with me when I'm on holiday. So yeah, I'm so excited for this book. Prompt number 4 is a 3 eyes prompt, and that is to read a book that has more than 2 points of view. So I actually struggled a little bit to find a book that has more than 2 POVs, but I was able to find one, and this book I was wanting to get to in the month of June, but I haven't managed to get to it. But the book is Evocation by S.C. Gibson. This was the April adult fairy loot book, and this one has 3 points of view. So I double checked in the book, and it has 3 points of view, so I'll be able to count it for this prompt. And S.C. Gibson, if you don't know, wrote A Dowry of Blood, which I really enjoyed. I really liked that book. So I don't want to know a lot about this one, but I think it says on the synopsis here, it doesn't really give that much away either. So it says, when a family curse threatens the life of David, a medium, he will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend Reese, which means he will have to open his heart to Moira, Reese's astrologer wife. Meet David, Reese and Moira for the first time as they navigate magic riddles of Boston through hierarchical secret societies, family bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeously, richly imagined novel. So that's kind of really all I want to know about it, but it does have 3 POVs, so I can count it for that prompt. And yeah, I'm really excited. Okay guys, and the final prompt for Teen Pink is Red Eyes, which is to read a book where the cover has changed in the last year. So I double checked with Liv, and if you have any special editions that probably have a changed cover, you can count it. So I've decided to go for a book that I recently got in the Romancy box from Fairy Loot, and it is Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields, and this definitely has a cover change. I'll put a picture of the original cover up on the screen, but yeah, this is the Fairy Loot edition, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I just think Fairy Loot just always do the best special editions. It's just, it's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I think this one also has Fae, if I remember correctly. Beware the Fae and never trust them with your own heart. For 20 years I've been an unwanted changeling. I have no name, no family, no answers. Until an irresistibly wicked fairy begins a seductive game of cat and mouse. I am his prey, his treasure, a perfect pet. He offers a trade. He will take me to the fairy realm to assist in my search for the truth of who I am. In return, I must agree to marry him, but things are not as they seem, and soon after arriving at his wintry manor, I begin to unravel a dangerous web of lies, far deadlier, and falling in love with a monster who has no heart. So, it does sound good, and this also kind of gives me Avatar vibes as well, so I probably could maybe count it for the first prompt as well. But yeah, this has definitely had a different cover change in the last year, so I'm going to count it for that prompt. Okay guys, and another readathon that I wanted to mention that I'm going to be taking part in is Summerween. So Summerween, if you don't know, was created by Gabby from Gabby Reads, and basically the idea is for a week you read thrillers, horrors, mysteries, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to, but that's kind of the aim of the readathon, is to get you reading those kind of books. So I will be taking part in this round, and it will be running from the 5th to the 11th of July, and I'm really excited. We have some prompts to complete for the readathon, and I have picked out some books that I am really keen to get to. So I will be doubling up on the first 2 prompts, which is prompt number 1 is to read a book in the dark. I think that's a regular prompt for this readathon, and prompt number 2 is to read a thriller or a horror book. So I've decided to go for something a little bit different for me, but I have read this author's other books and I've absolutely loved them, and this is one that I haven't managed to get to yet, and it is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Like, this is just the coolest kind of concept. So it was basically a horror thriller set in like an IKEA kind of store, and the book actually looks like an IKEA kind of catalogue, and it's just so cool. Like, I'll try and find, it's got like, so if you imagine what an IKEA catalogue looked like, it's got like the furniture and all that kind of stuff. Like, how cool is that? It's so cool. So I actually have no idea what this book is about. So it says, a traditionally haunted house story in a thoroughly contemporary setting, Horror Store is designed to retain its luster and natural appearance for a lifetime of use. Pleasingly proportioned with generous French flaps and a soft cover binding, Horror Store delivers the psychological terror you need in the elegant package you receive. So I think it's people that end up getting trapped in this kind of like IKEA kind of setting, and I think really creepy, weird stuff starts happening. So this does look like a lot of fun, and I am really keen to get to this one for Summerween. Okay guys, so prompt number 3 for Summerween is to read a book with a night sky on the cover, and this book I have been meaning to get to for ages. I briefly started it a few months ago. I got an arc of it and I haven't continued on with it, so I'm going to restart it. But it is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. As you can see, there is a kind of like night sky on the cover. It's got the word night in the title, so I can kind of bend it to that. So if Riley Sager is a very, very popular thriller author. I have only read The Only One Left by Riley Sager and I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. So Middle of the Night is about a man must contend with the long ago disappearance of his childhood best friend and the dark secrets lurking just beyond the safe confines of this picture perfect neighbourhood. So that's kind of really all I want to know about it. So I'm assuming with Riley Sager there'll be a lot of twists and turns and secrets getting revealed, and I think it is actually just come out. I think it came out on the 18th of June, I think. So it's only just recently come out. So I will be just reading the arc of it that I received from NetGalley. So I'm just going to read that. So that will be what I'll be reading for that prompt. Okay guys, so prompt number 4 is to read a book with 5 words in the title. And this book is not a thriller or a horror, it's a cosy fantasy, but I am desperate to read this book because I've heard really, really great things about it from Steph, who read it recently. And the book in question is Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne, a cosy fantasy steeped in love. It's sapphic cosy fantasy. There's dragons in here, I believe. A heartwarming journey brimming with peril, magic and a love of tea. So it sounds very along the same vibes as Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, A Very Secret Society of Regular Witches by Sangu Mandana, that kind of vibe. So I'm really, really excited for this one. Palace politics weren't their cup of tea. So it says on the synopsis here, I have no idea what this book is about. So it says, royal bodyguard Rhaena and elemental mage Chianthe dream of leaving their dangerous lives behind. They could open a bookshop instead, serving their very finest teas and cakes. They imagine worn wooden floors, plants on every table, firelight drifting between the rafters, all complemented by love, tea and good company. This just sounds adorable. So after risking too much one too many times, the pair decide to run away and make their dreams a reality. In the town of Tawny, nestled in the icy peaks of Dragon Country, they set up shop, but trouble is brewing ahead. Rhaena and Chianthe must face mishaps, mysteries and dragons and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum. Together, these two women will discover just what they mean to each other and their world. So it sounds adorable. Sapphic, dragons, tea, very Legends of Lattes vibes, and this cover is just absolutely stunning. I got this from Books Please because I used Steph's code. If I can find the link to Steph's video where she has got a code, I'll link it down below where you can get 5% off. And I think this is the American edition actually, because it's very, very floppy, because I don't think we've got a paperback in the UK just yet. It's only out in hardback, but I'm so excited to get to this one, and I think it'll be like cosy fantasy vibes. I think it would fit for Summerween, so I am really, really excited for this one. Guys, and my final prompt for Summerween that I would really love to get to is a book that has a summer setting. Yeah, read a book that takes place in summer. So I had to do a little bit of research because I don't own a lot of summer thrillers. So I have decided to go for Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. This is quite an old summer thriller. When did it come out? I've got my Goodreads up actually. 2022, so it came out a good few years ago, and it is basically, we follow, I think there's 6 girls, and it's set on an isolated island in the Pacific. And it says, when Lux McAllister and her boyfriend Nico are hired to sail 2 women to a remote island in the South Pacific, it seems like the opportunity of a lifetime. Stuck in a dead-end job in Hawaii and longing to travel the world after a family tragedy, Lux is eager to climb on board the Susanna and set out on an adventure. She's also quick to bond with their passengers, college best friends Brittany and Amma. The 2 women want to travel off the beaten path, but like Lux, they may have other reasons for seeking an escape. Shimmering on the horizon after days at sea, Merrow Island is every bit of paradise the foursome expects, despite a mysterious history of shipwrecks, cannibalism and even rumours of murder. But what they don't expect is to discover another boat already anchored off Merrow's sandy beaches. The owners of the Azure Sky, Jack and Eliza, are a true golden couple, gorgeous laid back, and if their sleek catamaran and well-stocked bar are any indication rich. Now a party of 6, the new friends settle in to experience life on an exotic island, and the serenity of being completely off the grid. Lux hasn't felt like she's truly belonged anywhere in years, yet here on Moreau, with these fellow free spirits, she finally has a sense of peace. But with the arrival of a skeevy stranger, sailing alone in pursuit of a darker kind of good time, the balance of the group is just disrupted. Soon cracks begin to emerge. It seems that Brittany and Alma haven't been completely honest with Lux about their past, and perhaps not even with each other. And though Jack and Eliza seem the perfect pair, the rocky history of their relationship begins to resurface, and the reasons for sailing to Moreau might not be as innocent as they first appeared. When it becomes clear that the group is even more cut off from civilization than they initially thought, it starts to feel like the island itself is closing in on them. And when one person goes missing and another turns up dead, Lux begins to wonder if any of them are going to make it off the island alive. So it sounds really, really good. It sounds like a really good movie, actually. So Reckless Girls, I'm going to be picking up for that prompt. Okay guys, and the final readathon that I'm going to be taking part in the month of July is the Final Book Support Group. You know Steph from Steph Loves, that's her readathon. If you have no idea what the Final Book Support Group is, Steph set this up to basically help everyone and herself to finish final books and continue on with series, because we're all terrible at doing that. So she's been doing it for a good while now, and I really enjoy taking part in it. So this round is going to be a week-long readathon, and the dates for this are going to be the 22nd to the 28th of July, so a full week. And you don't have to read final books, but it is kind of the aim of the readathon to try and read some final books or continue on with series. So I don't have a TBR set for that. I might as well do a vlog for this readathon as well, so do stay tuned for that. But I'm going to try and find some final books that I have, or try and continue on with some series that I've got. So I just wanted to mention that readathon, and I'll leave a link to Steph's channel down below. Please go and subscribe to her if you haven't already. She's the loveliest human being, and I absolutely adore her to bits. Okay guys, I just wanted to mention some books that I'm quite keen to get to in the month of July. So I wanted to mention Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. So I think that's how you pronounce it, but this is a brand new F1 romance, has just come out recently, and I love this cover. It's absolutely adorable, and I got this edition from The Works because The Works have started to do some sprayed edges on their books now, and this is really, really cool. And it's just blue on the top and green on the bottom. And this one is an F1 romance, and it follows Dev Anderson, who is F1 driver, and we're following Willow, who is a social media she works in social media, I think, and they are childhood best friends, I want to say. I don't want to read too much about it, but it does look really, really fun, and I am a huge F1 fan, and ever since I've read Lights Out by Kayla James, I've wanted to try and get some more F1 romances on my TBR, so this is definitely getting hopefully read in July. Next up is another book by S.T. Gibson that I got a Fairy Loot edition for, and The Education in Malice, and this is the stunning Fairy Loot edition. It is absolutely stunning, and I'm not quite sure if this one is a sequel or a prequel to A Dowry of Blood, which was her first book, or if it's set in the same world. I have absolutely no idea, but I don't want to read too much into it. But these are the stunning end papers. I mean, look at this artwork. Is that not just absolutely stunning? And different end papers on the back. And this is the naked hardback. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And it's also signed by S.T. Gibson as well. Stunning. So it says on the back here, love is sacrifice. One of us will always be going to bleed for the other. So in The Dowry of Blood, we followed the wife, Dracula's bride, essentially. And it ends up being, I think, there is sapphic kind of themes of romance in here. Obviously, I don't want to spoil A Dowry of Blood, but there are triggers for domestic abuse in A Dowry of Blood, so I'm not sure if this is going to be full in the same vein, but I am really, really excited for this one because I did really enjoy A Dowry of Blood when I read it. Okay guys, and the last book that I would love to get to in the month of July is something that I have been really keen to actually do a reread of, and the author has actually rewritten the whole series and brought out brand new editions, like rewritten editions, so I wanted to try this series and continue on with it. I've only read the first book in the series and I liked Priory of the Orange Tree. I only gave it 4 stars, but probably if I tried to read it now I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much because I didn't have a clue what was going on. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest, but I'm really, really keen to try this author's other series. If you haven't guessed it, it is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and this is the brand new 10th anniversary edition. And I managed to find the whole set that was done by Forbidden Planet with these amazing suede edges on Vinted, and I got them through recently and they are just so gorgeous. So Samantha Shannon has basically rewritten the whole Bone Season series, and I think a new book is coming out quite soon, which is the 5th book, I believe, and I think this should be signed. Yep, and I think that they are all signed by Samantha Shannon, which is quite cool to have. And I think, from what I remember, there is a novella I think you probably should read before you go into the Bone Season, which is called The Pale Dreamer, I want to say. So I might maybe read that first because it kind of explains the world a lot better. But in this one, we're following Paige Mahoney. It's got clairvoyance in here, and clairvoyancy is illegal. And it says here, when Paige is arrested for murder and thrown into captivity in Oxford, she meets the mysterious founders of Scion, who have designs on her uncommon abilities. If she's to survive and escape, Paige must use every skill at her disposal and put her trust in someone who ought to be her enemy. A lavish reimagined 10th anniversary edition of the first novel in the sensational Bone Season series. So yeah, I am really, really keen to give this series a proper go again, and hopefully I really enjoy it, because I think I gave it 4 stars the first time I read it, but I hadn't read the novella prior to this, so I might maybe do that first and then go on to this one so I could have a better kind of understanding of the world and the characters and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I am really excited to give this one another try. Okay guys, so that is my complete July TBR. I'm so excited for another reading month. July is it's going to be a busy one. I will be away on holiday for a week, but it's just going to be so much more chilled. I think June was just a complete total reading write-off for me. I wasn't enjoying doing the amazing readathon. I was finding it really stressful. I just think my anxiety just really you know, it wasn't great, but I'm feeling so much better and I'm just ready for a brand new reading month. Let me know what your plans are for the month of July, what your reading plans are, any books that you're excited for that are coming out in this summer. Do let me know. If you watched the video but you didn't have anything to say, leave me a pink heart emoji for Team Pink for Monsters University Readathon. As I said at the start of the video, I'll leave all the information for Monsters University Readathon in the box down below, and I'll link to Liv's announcement video with all the information for all the prompts and teams and all the questions and things like that. So if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video very, very soon. Bye guys.